Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great day. I'm doing kind of a quick abbreviated recap from today. I had to leave a little bit early today from the community because this was move out date for my daughter at school. She finished her second year. I'm really proud of her, and had to go help her get moved out. So we just got back and unloaded. So I wanted to do this real quick to kind of share what the day was, because there were some very important lessons that we really needed to teach today, and I kind of wanted to share that with you. First thing I was looking at was STX, and as I looked at the daily chart, I really loved the setup. I was like, this is the stock I want, and obviously I was looking for it short. The market was selling a little bit, and this had beautiful windows to the short side. But when I go look at my short list, no shares to short. And it's very rare that I don't have these shares to short at SureTrader. Matter of fact, this is the very first stock since I started at the beginning of April. And this is the very first stock that I didn't have shares to short of that I wanted to. And, so it doesn't happen often, but it's no different than Speed Trader, who doesn't have shares to short of things sometimes, or Lightspeed, or anybody. I mean, it's not a SureTrader thing, so don't jump on they never have anything. Now, if you trade these low dollar, low float garbage stocks, then yeah, you're probably going to run into that a lot. You're going to run into them being restricted a lot. Because if it was up to me, I wouldn't let you trade with my money either. That stuff. So, it wasn't a big deal. And yeah, I could have gone to Speed Trader and still traded it. But I'm sticking to my plan. I really want you guys to learn and to get the principles and the concepts that I'm trying to share with you, and how you need to grow your account, how you need to be consistent in growing your smaller account, whether it be at SureTrader, Trade Zero, who they just sent me a big old message today. I'm guessing they're starting to take U.S. citizens. I don't know. I need to contact them tomorrow. But, it doesn't matter who you're with. You still need to employ the right concepts to grow your account. And yeah, you can make a quick $500, $600, $700, $1,000 trading those low float, low dollar stocks. Catch a quick run up on 1,000 shares or 2,000 shares, and yeah, you got it. But you're gonna have a lot more that go against you than for you, and that was what I experienced, and that's why I made the change I made too. I haven't looked back since. So I love trading these. But STX I didn't have. I was disappointed in it. But TPR was my next one, and I really liked it too. I liked it to the short side. We had a nice window right here that I felt that if we got into, and the 200 held as resistance, we could get into this, and we did really. So I was pretty pleased with this. So this is why I chose this stock. I had a couple of stocks on watch, UA and UAA, but they never move good enough for me. I always put them on watch, but they never really give me the moves that I want to see. And then UAA I didn't have shares to short, but UA I did. But go figure. But I kind of dismissed those before the open, and just kind of put my focus on TPR here. And you can see I didn't like the opening range, because the first candle right here, the first candle sold all the way off down to 46, which was going to be my first target. So I didn't take it. I waited. We pulled back over VWAP, I waited till we pulled back through. We had a couple candles go through this, tested it again. I waited, and the whole time I was explaining to you guys exactly why we needed to wait. We just don't know what's going to happen here. And I think I might have an example of this in a little bit, but we just don't know what's going to happen. So it's best to wait, let it establish below, make sure that we're not going to test it again and get short. And that's what we did. Got short here. Had a real nice move down to 46. That was my first target. And when we started to bounce here, I went ahead and took it off. And if you looked at the whole chart for the rest of the day, it pretty much recovered. We didn't really get much else out of this. The market really got crappy after this morning. So this is why I just didn't trade this anymore. It tried to set up at lunch, but it just didn't give me a clean setup. And I wasn't touching it anymore. COMM, we were very patient here. This one gave us a real big sell-off on the first candle. And we kind of inched our way down. And I'm like, well, I wait for a pullback. And we got the pullback here. We kind of traded sideways. This probably should have been, a sign for me not to get in, because we just traded sideways. But we just kept showing weakness and showing weakness. So I ended up getting in, once we made a lower low relative to the previous candle on this 5-minute chart. I got in. We started to make the move, and it got bought right back up off of 50-ish. And I wasn't giving it much room, so I just took it off. I was like, it's not working. If this was going to work, we would have been selling off down through this 26, 29. My first target was going to be like 26, 25-ish. But wasn't giving it any room. The market was really, really crappy at this point. It was real choppy. The volume, the little bit of volume that did have, it left, and we just didn't have anything. And it was just a really, really crappy day. So I shut it down and, ended up just going to lunch. And I was watching these through lunch and just did not see any good price action. It was just really, really crappy. So I call it an early day. We locked in 92.60. Not bad. Not bad at all. I did have, I'm guessing I had maybe $140, $150 from the first trade, and just gave some back. But, that's kind of the way it is. You take the good with the bad. Today was just a bad day. I'm happy we came out green and right around my daily average at this point. So pretty pleased with it. It's all about being patient, picking your spots. And when the trade doesn't work, cut it off. The opening range trades, none of them really worked for me. They all put in these crazy candles at first. Look at TPR did it. COMM did it. So just a crazy open, and we just was patient and kind of waited to the next opportunity. All right, so now let's take a look at SH Opie. This was my all-day hold, and it was kind of messed up from the start. I didn't get in it. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. I can explain it better there. So I'm always looking to get in. I'm looking at the 5-minute chart, and I like to get in pre-market so that I can just focus on my day trading. I can just set this, let it work, forget it. When it hits my target, my alert will come on and let me know to change my stop and all that. So I was looking at this morning, and this looked great. So I said, okay, we sold off on the initial earnings, and then it got bought all the way back up. Okay, now I want to wait for the pullback, the bounce, and I want to see the bounce make a lower low. Once it did that, I wouldn't care whether we're over the VWAP, the 20. It wouldn't have mattered at that point, because my risk is going to be based off the high here. And I thought we were going to get the bounce here. We didn't. It just kind of sold off again. Thought we would get the bounce off the 100, at least back up here. No dice. And yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have gotten in here and just let it go. But, I didn't. I just waited to see if we were going to get a big pullback at the open. We never got that. So, I ended up just taking it right after the open. I think I got in around 9:40. And this is really late for my all-day holds. I should have been up here. And my final target should have been here. Would have been out. I'd have been done with this trade. Probably had about $2,000 in the bank or more. But it just didn't set up right. And I did take this was a decent entry. I wasn't going to get the big profit, but it was going to be decent. And I got in here and got the first cover. 119 was my first target. Got some covered at 119 here, half of it. And then, like clockwork, it turned around, came back, stopped me back out at break even. So just like I always do, I waited for it to reject and pull back in. I got in, and this is 60-minute candles. So these are 1-hour candles. This is what I managed to trade off of once I get in. So I got in here looking for the move back down, and I don't know what the hell happened. All of a sudden, I turn around and look at the market, and it's taken off. And I was really disengaged at this time. I was done with the small account. The market had proved to really be uneventful. So I just had this set it and forget it. And I had no idea and could not predict that we were going to make this move. Here we were making lower highs, lower lows slightly. And we had this little bump here, but it got rejected and slapped down pretty good. And then all of a sudden, this thing took off. And I never did really look to see what was going on. Like I said, I had to leave. So I really didn't get to see what was going on or get a feel for everything that was happening. But, this is just not something I would have predicted. And it caught a lot of people, off guard. But today, minus 82.49, this is the first red day in over a month, trading this strategy. And it didn't have to be red. My execution was a little bit off because the setup was off. I couldn't get the setup that I wanted to. Had locked in some real good profit, but the market turned around. And this is just a product of the market. This is what happens. And these are the things that we have to accept if we're going to be successful in the market. So, not really mad, just disappointed. If my calculation is right, I was up about $900 and ended up giving it back. So we'll take that with a grain of salt. We'll come back at it tomorrow, see if we get a better setup, something that's really nice, but not the way you want to start a month off, after such a superb month of April, but we'll make it work. S, I'm still holding short from the other day. And let me show you what I'm looking at on it. Now, it's kind of at the line in the sand now for me. It is sitting right here. Let me lock this in. It's sitting right here on the 50-day right now. We dipped below it. We're kind of sitting on it. Let's see, right at it. Yeah. We closed right on it. So if we open below this tomorrow and kind of establish below this, I will take it off and I'll wait, because my feeling, my personal feeling, I'm not saying that this is it, but I'm feeling that these guys are selling this off so that they can get the best price. Right now we're only talking about $6.50. So if we can get it back down to, the $4 range, that would be an awesome place to buy. And if it gaps back up to $6.50, $7, then that's a pretty nice profit. But I'm not going to hold through all of that. I'm going to wait. If we lose this tomorrow, we establish below it, I'm taking it off. I'll just eat the loss. I don't mind, starting off, because I'll have all month to really, get it back together. So that's where I'm at with Sprint. Still working on that swing trade page and getting the email server up. So all you members that want to get the swing trade alerts, really to let you know that I'm in and what my target is and my stop and all of that. Should get that up. I just got so much going on, so much I got to get done. It's just taking a little bit longer than I want to. But I almost have the spreadsheet set up the way I want it. And I'll have that there, so it'll show, like, for the month, all my open and closed positions and, all of that. So should have that done. I wanted to have it done this weekend, but it's a lot more work than I anticipated. So trying to get that squared away for you guys. So that's going to do it for me tonight. You guys take care. Have a great evening, a great night, and we'll be right back at this in the morning.